a lot of, Les's personal guitars. These guitars, worth $4 or $5 million.
Right.
And tape machines, stuff that's never been seen before. So I got involved with this guy. I've got an offer from a few companies right now. I'm trying to get it picked up on. So I've been working on that because it's a labor of love, and we're going to want to try to get some major artists to play the instruments that were Les's and record maybe a soundtrack companion piece to it.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
When Jimmy was cleaning out Les's, stuff from his house that he'd given him, he opened up one of these tape machines, and in the bottom of it, what was in there? A fucking mailbox.
Oh my God.
Really?
That's crazy.
So it's a whole human story behind it. So I've been working on that thing for a couple of years because I left Gibson, or Gibson left me. Or actually, the company went bankrupt a few years ago. I got a divorce. That happened. So ladies, I am single and ready to mingle.
Wow.
So I'm going to put that out there.
Oh, boy.
So that's what I've been up to.
In summation of your time with Dave, what were some of the biggest lessons you learned working with Dave?
That it really does matter where the cocaine comes from. It's really important.
Wow. Okay.
So that's your takeaway from working with Roth.
Well, if you don't get the right shit, it can kill you, son.
Also, what is your impression of his new look with his short white hair and his tattoo sleeves?
Next question.
Okay.
Okay. Asked and answered. Thank you.
What do you think about all these rumors about the original Van Halen reuniting?
I saw them every tour with Roth except for 1984. I saw them the first, second, third. Saw Diver Down twice. Saw Fair Warning twice. I went to L.A. at the time 1984 happened. And, I have mixed emotions about it, actually, because if you saw Van Halen and you've seen the videos, you've heard the records, you got copies of them. If you're a true fan, you got the bootlegs, and, it's not the same. And it's like one of those things where, like the girl in high school who was the hottest chick, man. That, that everybody wanted to fuck, and you're like, man, fuck, everybody wanted to fuck her. She's hot as your prom queen or whatever. You got that memory of her, and you see her now, and I don't mean to be, a naysayer or anything like that, but it's just like, for me personally, and this is not for anybody else, if you saw Van Halen on the first two tours especially, and then Fair Warning, which was really kind of like the pinnacle of it.
Right.
Man, it just was fucking nothing like it. I mean, there would never be anything like that again. I mean, it was just...
Right.
It was the most fucking powerful... I mean, they would come out... I mean, Roth could come out and just... I'd never seen anybody... Even not even Freddie Mercury could command this kind of fucking... He just come out and fucking stand on the end of the fucking ego ramp and just stand there, and fucking people just go fucking ape shit for fucking 10 or 15 minutes. You didn't say a word.
Right, yeah. What was it like to be on stage with him during the time that you were with him?
It wasn't like that because I wasn't Eddie Van Halen, but
right.
Well, the one thing I did learn from him is how not to get kicked in the head. That was my whole thing on stage with him. Was like I learned a lot about stagecraft and dynamics. And deal with a big deck. I never played shows places that big before. He taught me a lot about that kind of thing and just about how to be probably in the moment because shit's no matter what happens, stuff's going to go wrong.
Right.
And shows and stuff like that. And just how to carry on. But, sometimes it's kind of unreal for me when I look back at some of that stuff and even watching some of the videos and things like that. I'm like, God damn, it's fucking Dave Roth, man. And he was still viable, when I was with him. He was still kicking high. And
right.
I think he's not now. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying right before the Sam and Dave tour.
Right.
On a run that we did, he was killing it, man. He sounded like $1 million. I mean, and we had some shows that were magical. I'm like, I told him a couple times, I said, Dave, he's like, you're like 78, man. You're fucking, because he finally gotten his chops back together, and everything. He was still doing this Russian splits off the fucking riser.
Right.
When I was in the band with him.
Right.
With him. The risers may have been a little bit lower.
Right.
But,
right.
I mean, can you do one? I can't do one. I mean, he's still doing all the kicks and all that kind of stuff and spinning of the shower curtain rod.
Right.
Right. You don't get hit with that thing. He hit himself a couple times, cut himself. That's demanding. I mean, he had 2 L4 surgeries, and actually we both blew our knees out on the 99 tour. We got him scoped at the same time.
In terms of backstage stuff, did he have like masseuses and stuff working out his body? Because I know that he gets pretty chewed up on stage.
I mean, yeah, we had some of that out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you call them masseuses, I call them hookers. I mean,
We weren't going there, but thanks for the clarification.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you a good story. I can tell this. I'm going to tell it anyway. I don't fucking care.
Okay.
We were in D.C. We came back from Europe. And we were fucking doing. You talk about fucking rock star tour. We were fucking going back and forth over the fucking pond, over the Atlantic. I mean, we played, a couple days of back up. You go play a festival, 18 hours straight like that. I don't know if you ever saw the Finland show, the Vasa Finland show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a great show.
Like, great show. I mean, that was straight. I'd been up with two strippers, fucking the night before in D.C. We flew fucking no sleep, flew straight 18 hours all the way to that stage and got there an hour before and went right on stage.
Oh, really? I got to tell you, you can't even tell. You guys, that was a great show.
That was, yeah. Definitely a great show.
There's something to be said for beer. I mean, I think that's all fucking. It is a food group. It's carbohydrates, right? I mean, it's bread.
Yeah.
Beer's bread. Beer's bread. I mean,
right? Yeah, close enough. Sure.
Okay, how much JD does Dave carry with him when he travels?
A fucking shit ton. It ain't a joke, man. I mean, it's like, in the buses, in every drawer, every cabinet. If you open a cabinet up, you better watch it. You get bonked in the head by JD bottle.
Wow, that's incredible. Did you ever go to his house?
Yeah, I mean, we were over there all the time. I mean, all our production was staged at his house.
Oh, really? So you guys would rehearse there?
I was over there constantly. I was over there constantly. Well, we didn't rehearse there. Well, Van Halen actually rehearsed in the basement.
Right.
But there was an earthquake in '94 in Northridge, which he had some foundation issues and shit like that. For insurance purposes, you couldn't go down there anymore. But I mean, we staged all of the production over there. I mean, like when we were moving row cases or painting row cases or whatever, and then we had meetings over there. I was over there constantly.
Wait, Bart, what made you guys take Slam Dunk out of the set list?
Lack of recognition. I mean, we replaced it with Dancing Out Away. You asked me.
Okay.
I mean? And people didn't know the fucking song. I mean, it's like, look, man, when you're Pavarotti, people want you to sing a certain aria. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They recognize. I mean, artists hate this shit, but you're trapped by your success of your songs, and be thankful for them. But you end up having to play them your whole entire career. People want to constantly do new stuff and change and all that kind of stuff, but the fans don't want you to. I bought chocolate ice cream back in the day. I don't want chocolate ice cream now. And when it's something that's as big as they were, you're never going to be able to really get past that. Try as they may.
Right.
I know Edward's always the one that wants to, go forward with new music and stuff like that, which he hasn't. I mean, not really.
Right.
I appreciate what Wolfgang did for his dad, and his dad did for Wolfgang, on that tour. And I got him out there, got him sober, got him playing. I mean, Eddie was fucking playing amazing on the last tour.
Right.
Probably better than he ever played in his life. Well, I won't say that.
Right. Absolutely.
Pretty damn close to it. Again, my memory of the prom queen. It's I mean, did you guys ever get to see this first two tours?
No, we were too young.
No,
Dave and I are 49, so we were like 8 years old, 9 years old at that time.
Why'd that stop you?
Parents.
Right.
I would have took you if you're my nephew.
I appreciate that. That would have been great.
I feel bad for anybody. I mean, and go see the show. I mean, if they're touring again, go see it. I remember seeing them at Carter Stadium in Raleigh. I still have the tickets. They played with Boston in 1979. It's on the second tour. They opened for Boston. And it's a big outdoor stadium thing. And they just fucking laid bare earth, man. And they were on a mission. I mean, two at that point. I mean, It was like, those first two records, you could not divide them up. And Niels Lozauer told me, you know who he is?
Yeah, photographer, sure.
Photographer.
So he came out with Dave on the road with us. Still Dave's photographer. And he took pictures of the band and everything. He told me that they were the wildest motherfuckers. He'd been out with Crew and Poison and Rat and everybody you can imagine. And said Van Halen, the first two Van Halen tours, the wildest shit he'd ever been on or ever seen.
Wow, that's incredible.
I can tell you stories about that, but that's not for this podcast.
Okay.
Whoa! How about that for rock video music fans? Live all day, all night. You know what you need. Only right here on Dave TV.
Check us out on Facebook at Dave and Dave Unchained, a Van Halen podcast, on Twitter at DD Unchained, on Instagram at DD Unchained Podcast, and you can email us at ddunchainedpodcast@gmail.com.
Hello, Bart. Bart?
Hello, Domino's Pizza. May I help you?
Bart, hey, it's Dave Criblay from Dave and Dave Unchained. How are ya?
This is Domino's Pizza. What would you like to order, sir? We have a special today with large pepperoni and cheesy bread with a fifth of tequila for $1.99.
Let me have two of those.
If you get a fifth of tequila, well, it's not good tequila. That's the problem.
Just the cheap stuff, right?
Well, if it ain't Patron, leave it alone. Is what I always say.
Bart, I will take a bottle of anything and a glazed donut to go.
Nice.
To go.